The perfect wisdom, Prajna Paramita, transcends all words and thoughts, unborn, unseasoned. It is the very nature of space, known by wisdom mind that experiences it. To this mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I prostrate. Teyata gati gadi para samgadi bodhi soha. Teyata gadi para samgadi bodhi soha. Teyata gadi para samgadi bodhi soha. By the power of the true word of three jewels, may they destroy, may they become non-existent, may they pacify, may all the harms of Maras and non-humans and all the obstacles be overcome. May the 80,000 kinds of interferences be pacified. May we be separated from harmful and unfavorable conditions. May we achieve favorable conditions and everything excellent. Through this fortune, may there be happiness and goodness. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with the flowers. The great mountain followed in sun and moon, seen as a Buddha and offered us. May all beings subject Mr. Pyramid. Yadam Guru Ratnanandana I take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I achieve enlightenment by the power of the goodness that I collect by practicing giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. I take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I achieve enlightenment by the power of the goodness that I collect by practicing giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. I take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I achieve enlightenment by the power of the goodness that I collect by practicing giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from their happiness. May all sentient beings dwell in equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from their happiness. May all sentient beings dwell in equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from their happiness. May all sentient beings dwell in equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. Hello, good evening. Tashi delay, raining day. Looks it's raining quite strongly, isn't it? Comparing with back in monsoon, sometime monsoon season in India, the rain that we have now is nothing. They rain day and night for months, sometimes, some years, like 1 month, 2 months. And then no sun. And when you wash your clothes, and you don't have a what do you call it, dryer, so your clothes remains wet for weeks. So yes, anyway, so yes, please listen Dharma teaching, the particular teaching on emptiness based on Guide to Emptiness, Candrakīrti's teaching, out of motivation of the bodhicitta. Please. At the same time, very briefly reminding you again, generating or developing bodhicitta in your mind, beginning of your day, please. And then also, as we spend our day, and please make sure we recall, we remember motivation time to time, and especially to really use positive motivation to react with the situation that is difficult or difficult situation, please. And then end of the day, end of practice, end of this class, please dedicate all the virtues that you have gathered or that you have accumulated towards every other sentient beings. This is the one thing that I always ask you to do. And then on top of that, or just basic thing that I've been sharing with you these few weeks, is also what we do in our daily life, in daily practice. Try to really become, all of our actions is creating or collecting merit and a wisdom both. Collecting merit and a wisdom both. So beginning our such as practice, the practice such as bodhicitta practice, the renunciation practice, such as based on Lamrim teachings, the first training wheel of the first part of training, Chibuchungu teaching, like the teachings in the small being, and then the second part teachings on intermediate being, and then the half part of the third or great being teachings are all part of collection of merit. And then the remaining or last part, the second part of great being teachings in Lamrim are mainly to collecting the wisdom's part. So at the same time, what we've been sharing, all of this last time are based on try to really develop understanding of the first is based on, in Lamrim they use the term, probably we have mentioned a number of times here, you may remember that here, all the first part of the practice is based on, they use like a jidembe tawa, like a, the woodly view. That could be, that can be gross level of that action can be seeable, and when we talk more, based on that, and we can let our mind understand more deeper and deeper, and about the woodly view, based on what the first teachings on the first part of the teachings on Lamrim. And when they say, if you ask that again, what is that? That is having a proper or correct view that believes or that understands that every result that we experience arises from its own cause or its own karma. So whether it's a positive result arising from the positive cause, a negative result arise from the negative cause. So having that view in our mind and let myself to act, every daily activity is based on that. based on that. So had that, remember in Lamrim teaching they use called woodly view, Jidembe Tawa. So, and there's also coming to now this topic, it also can call as having or building the understanding of how conventional truth exists. How conventional things exist. How phenomena except emptiness exist. So that is, it will teach us, more I understand about impermanent, it teaches that. More I understand about the cause and effect, it also teaches that. More I understand about the nature of samsara, it teaches that. So we are now, with our own effort, we try to really do need to bring this understanding into developing or understanding of how phenomena or how conventional things exist. So that's help us to understand the conventional truth. Then at the same time, the second view is the view of emptiness, and that is considered as super mundane view, like Jidine Devetawa, the view that is not that. So for that, see the view that understand or believes that whatever the phenomena that exists, even they exist relying on a cause and effect, even they exist by depending on any parts, but they still do not exist inherently. They do not exist inherently. Nothing that exists inherently. And that comes to let us to develop understanding of emptiness. We can also say understanding of ultimate truth. Ultimate truth. So, and through that practice, so through that we develop the wisdom that understand how things actually really exist. So that becomes a second view, and another one is a first view. Combine these together. We don't practice this separately. We bring this together. Through that, lead us to accumulate. Or lead us to accumulate, the merit, and lead us to accumulate wisdoms, and through that we are collecting two causes to attain full enlightenment. So please, whenever we practice, even the method side, we must do that based on having the view of emptiness, view of that they don't exist inherently. And when we practice emptiness on any phenomena, think that we should also do that things also exist by depending on cause and conditions. Things are also relying on its own parts and its things. So these two views are used as a basis to practice each other rather than pushing away, rather than keeping separately. We do need to bring both views together. So when you meditate on emptiness, it has to be done based on knowing or understanding that they are all exist from its own cause and conditions. When you also practice, karma and all of that, you also have to do that based on, they do not exist inherently. So they are supporting each other to build each view more and more and more. Please. So out of this, we will resume where we stopped last.
Rinpoche, before we start, can I ask a question based on what we've been studying that I'm confused about?
Please.
I think it's probably a really stupid question, but I keep having it in my mind, so I'm going to ask. I understand that the 5 aggregates, the I, are the base for all karmic imprints and seeds.
I or mean the yeah, okay.
And it's not just the mind that they go. But I also understand that when we die, the only thing that travels is our mind, and that when we die, our karma travels with us. So I feel that there's a gap
Yeah.
How does it get into the mind for when
This is the things here that how based on entire our based on how Buddhism in general explained about the mind is a creator. When we explained about the mind is a creator of karma. Mind is the one who created all of these actions. But based on that, how we have in principle in our mind, there's things that when we when what travels from the life to life is the mind, and we don't focus on that. We don't focus in general in Buddhism. The I travels from this present to this life to the next life. We don't say that, but in actually the based on Madhyamika, why we say this why this came to that here in based on in the Buddhism is here is that it is based on how like a woodly level or imprint or their based on the woodly levels understanding, and then also the based on others combine other school together, that become the common the common explanation of it. But in general here, when I die, this is the term that when we in says when I die. Right? When when he die, when she die, when they die. So it seems like that. See, I am not departing from this present life to the next next life.
Right.
So the based on the Madhyamika Prasangika school says yes, when I come to stop breathing. When my when my mind dissolved into from the gross into subtle into very subtle, and then at the same time when these four elements begin to dissolve at the same time when the mind begins to dissolve in that process, where what really happens is that I departs from this. I actually depart because here come make sense there. See, if this body is not an I, and any of this present form that now how you view each other, how we view each other, are not really person. Not the body is not actually is a person. And yes, the body serves as a basis to recognize a person. Mind also serves as a basis to find a person, but the mind is not a person. The body is not also not a person. The person, yes, is within the 5 egg gates is something what Madhyamika Prasangika always says, unfindable object within the 5 egg gates. It is there, but it is unfindable. So here, now we have to. We have to bring into, the level that not only when I die my mind traveled. See, person travels. Person. There's a present like this present life. We were giving a name called like a noni. So it's a person name, but this is just the term to be able to recognize. It's just as a term. It's just as a name. But the person, when that dissolve took place and leaves, when my mind leaves, I also depart. I also depart from this present life to next life. So it means I exist since the beginning of time till today, and I will be, going to next life. If I is not traveling from the present to previous to this and this to the next, then how I will attain even full enlightenment? The question, I wish to attain full enlightenment. If I become non-existing when I die, then there's no way to attain full enlightenment. So it means I travels from this life to the next life. But the I, when we say I as a person, this mind comes within it because the mind is a basis of, the base to find the I or person. Example, see, if I ask you to bring this table, can you bring this table to me? When you bring this table, the one part of the leg will automatically comes without mentioning to you. The flat of the table will comes when the table begins. So same thing, when I travel from this life to the next life, consciousness or mind travels. All my five aggregates travels from this to this to that. But at this, see, the difference we have to really keep in our mind is, keep my mind in our mind is, yes, I travel in that way, but then that is no changeable, which is the mind is the one who help to ripe positive karma, negative karma. That is still there. That is still happening within that. See, the mind is the one who is helping our positive karma to ripe or negative karma to ripe now or also when I die. But not only, there's no way that consciousness travels without remaining the aggregates. Or consciousness cannot travel without I traveled. There's no consciousness this is the really now we are getting into deeper level of explanation how Madhyamika Prasangika explained, saying that when I traveled, my form aggregates travels with me, the aggregates of consciousness travel with me, the aggregates of discrimination travels with me, all of the consciousness travels. So that potential, since it's within I, wherever I travels, see, gross form can able, the form can able to grow, consciousness can able to grow, discrimination can able to grow when I take a new birth. So each birth, when I travel, the basis of the aggregates travels, and because of they serve as a really seed to be able to grow all of those aggregates that now we are experiencing in our daily life. So, coming to the point, you that see, yes, when we die. This is that simply, again, see, Madhyamika Prasangika also says that I'm always living. I'm always living. So that's why they say there's no death person. I can die, but I will never become dead person. I can die, but I will never become dead person because I've been always traveling. This is what Madhyamika Prasangika says. Me, Shiva Yore, Shiva Mimes, means I can die, but there's no dead person we can find. See, who? Either I'm here, I'm still living. After my breathing stop, I go to the Bhado, I'm still living. I'm not dead person at that. And then I take new birth, I'm still living. So see, there's no dead person. And then, then question come here is, what does it mean by I can die? Means I can separate from this gross form of the body. Simply is that. I departs from this present gross form of the body, and that means this body become, unfunctionable to serve for I to remain. It means it's like, see, remember there's another term that Buddhism explains, says when I depart from my guest house, the guest house is no more serving for my place to live. Same, this body died. Yes, this is death. This body that I'm using now become what? Corpse, right? What about raw? Corpse. It become corpse. So then at that time, it's not functionable for me to be able to live. So here, that means is like I can die, but doesn't mean that I can become that person. I'm still traveling it. I'm still traveling within samsara, and ultimately I want to travel to liberation. I want to travel to the full enlightenment. So I think this, of course, at the very beginning level, if we explain this explanation to the very beginning, this is very complicated things. Then I don't want to get into this. So, but now we have learned what is mind, what is person, right? We have some the view or image in our mind. What is meant by the person or sentient beings? What is consciousness? What is five aggregates? And so now, from that point of view, we can able to understand that when I die, what is really traveling from this present life to the next life? I'm traveling it, and that comes consciousness. Consciousness will come. All aggregates, all other aggregates traveled. When I travel, it comes just like when we move the table, the leg and all part of the table will travel. I cannot just separate them. So I think that's the way to look at it.
So the karma's traveling with this five aggregates and consciousess, or karma itself is in the consciousness?
Karma, in the general, now specifically speaking in the base of Madhyamika Prasangika, karma's potential has left on just I and a person, which means a person, and that when you see it's in the person.
So it's the whole package.
Yes, it's all package.
Then what happens if I reborn as a mosquito and I don't have that subconsciousness? Then where my karma goes?
You have a consciousness.
Mosquito also have subconsciousness.
Yo.
Yeah.
Mental consciousness. Yo. Yeah. Every sentient being. We only question that when we are studying we have is what happens. See, it's like say I have a five aggregates. You have a five aggregates. Mosquito have a five aggregates. Every person have a five aggregates. And then usually we question in the saying that, what happened if I took birth in a formless realm? This is the question that usually we raise. What happened if I took a birth in a formless realm, the way there's no form? I'm from formless being. And then do they have a five aggregates? That's the only question we have. But again, so the consciousness, the aggregates of the consciousness is there. In the aggregates of discrimination, aggregates of all others there. But the only question here is when we are discussion or debating, talk about saying, this formless being, when the person who took birth in a formless being, do they have aggregates of form, and do they have a form? And are they not in the formless realms? How they could be like this kind of questions they raise. But the consciousness is no question. They do have that. Otherwise, there's no person.
Then, according to what you say, that means basically karma should travel with consciousness.
Yeah, they do travel. As I travel, all my five aggregates will travel with me. And at the same time also, whatever good deeds, good karma, bad karma, definitely will travel with me. They won't leave me alone. They won't leave me alone. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
So the last week we stopped at the page 51, right?
Yeah, verse 7 we have not done.
Okay, verse 7. Kedi chewa meji mashebe dajin shenwa nguyu na kangi na di yoba meriba shenla masham punu jishi gels. English verse 77. If they exist are things that is an other power entity without production and with a nature nature no known, by what would exist be impossible, can a child of a barren woman harm others? You get that? So, Madhyamika Prasangika continued to refute the inherently existent. And the Chitta Mantra school followers or that school continue to insist saying things exist inherently. So now as you see in Tibetan here, what this verses is saying, kede means if, right? If. Chewa meaning chewa is arising. Chewa is arising. Me is not. Jing is end. So, not arising. Chewa meaning. And that, then meaning. Masheba means not knowing. By what? By valid mind. Not knowing by the valid mind. So, kedichewa meaning mashebe. Then next line, daji means in the nature, right? This is talking about. Let's finish that. Then it will come to the sentence. Daji is being in a possessing or having the nature. Daji. Shenwang is things actually. Remember. But here they use it, they translate it as other power entity, like other power phenomena or other power things. So Shenwa is like it exists. Is like a rangi like its own inherent, its own nature. Nature, is mopo things. Ye exists na means if. So I don't know. This is giving you if there exist things that is other power entity without production and with the nature unknown. This means is what here what Candrakīrti is telling, what Candrakīrti is saying in this two line here is, see, things that it not, things, according to Madhyamika, according to mind only school you, things that are not arise from the cause and conditions, things or anything that are not recognized or realized by the valid mind, and now you are saying that kind of things exist inherently. If that kind of things exist inherently, so so in here, this is, the next line says, "Kangi nan diri yoba miribatas." So in English says, by what would its existence be impossible? So by what reason? And then last line says, can a child be a barren woman harm others? So it is also questioning to mind-only school. Maybe according to your situation, your belief, you maybe need to be in the situation that needs to take care of yourself, not to get a harm by a child, not to get a harm, harmed by the child of barren woman. Do I need to really concerned? Do I need to pay attention, or am I going to get a harm by the child of barren woman? So here, what Candrakīrti means is, if I do that, that's a foolish way, because there is no child of the barren woman exist. So why should I really be concerned of getting or not getting harm from them? Same thing. Once you says this exists inherently, it's automatically saying that they do not arise from cause and conditions. They are not realized by. They are not dependent on realized by. Realized by the consciousness or mind. So means so mean why see by what would exist be impossible? That's what Candrakīrti meant. So again, the coming to the point here is saying, if you say things exist inherently, it is like same as saying, I'm going to get the harm from the child of barren woman. Same thing. This is what Candrakīrti is, comparing these two. Things or produce things, phenomena exist inherently. Believing that is same as, concern of getting harm from the barren woman, child of the barren woman. You want to say something?
No, just the concept of a child of the barren woman can't have a child.
Yeah.
So it shows the ridiculousness.
Yeah, this is what Candrakīrti meant. He's saying this is barren woman's child do not exist, same as things inherently exist do not exist. Things to be exist inherently do not exist. So how things always been exist? Things are always empty of inherently existence. Things do not exist inherently, same as barren woman's children, child of the barren woman do not exist. So they okay. So again the idea is again refuting inherently existent. Now next verse 78.
But I'm sorry, one question. The Zhen Wang, other powered entity, what is that?
That is things.
Just phenomena?
Yeah, phenomena.
Finish the last two.
Oh, I skipped it? Oh, yeah. Kankina, by what? Right? Kankina means by what? Kankina, di means this, yoba is existing, miriba means impossible or unsuitable or miriba. So just like by what would it exist and be impossible? Right? Next line, shen las. Shen means other. And this is to whom other? Who's the other? The Chitta Mantras, the mind-only school followers, or mind-only school. It means that Semtsambas, like mind-only school, Semtsambas, like Shen, other. La to you. Mosham is a berry woman. Pu is a child. And you see S there. Passenger Pusa Pu means a by. So by the child of the berry woman. Ne, it means a harm, like a hurting or a harming. Harm. Jishi means a what. Jishi kes. Kel means do. In this case, do. What harm they do, like that. So in here, can a child of the berry woman harm others?
Why make this example?
Means things is this example here is inherently existent is the same as the children of berry woman. So question is there child of berry woman? The question is, and then absolutely we say, no, there's no children of a berry woman. Berry woman means there's berry woman means the mother the female who don't have that. So berry woman children is non-existent. Exactly what now Candrakīrti is saying, to the mind only. So things exist inherently is exactly same as child of the berry woman. So means do not exist. So it just still, refuting again the existing of inherently. So showing that, if someone talks about the children of berry women walking up and down and do that, then we will see is he okay? Is he fine? Because he's talking about speaking with the children of the berry woman and walking and talking. We will say there's no children of the berry woman. How can he walk? How can he talk? We will think that. Same thing what Candrakīrti is telling, Madhyamika Prasangika is telling to mind only schools, Chitta Mantra is saying that there's no inherently existing things. So how could things exist inherently? Because all the things that exist are from cause and conditions. Now next 78, Kanse Shenwan Chungse Yumina, Konzo Pani Juni Kanshi Jur, Shenji Tana Zela Chabayi, Jidian Tawe, Namsha Kwenchang Laos. So, English now, 78, since not even the slightest other powered phenomena exist, what is the cause of conventionalities? Is that right? Mm-hmm. Conventionalities. Out of attachment to the substance in the other's view, even all the objects known to the world are forsaken. Now this is almost like coming to one step of summarizing by Candrakīrti or Madhyamika Prasangika school here. See, look at Kangtse means Kangitse, right? Kangtse. And this Kangtse is like a since or when, both, it can apply both. Shenwang, again, the other power, which refers to things, like just take it as a thing, Shenwang. Chungse means even little, even slight, they use it like slightest, even little, slightest. Ye means exists. Min means not, na means if. So means what? Things do not exist inherently, even slightest, even a little moment. This is what Candrakīrti is saying. Even Since things do not exist inherently, even slightest, or even for the short moment, next word, konzopa is conventionalities in here. Konzopa, conventionalities. Konzopa. Yi is of Ju means cause. Ni is like is. Kangshi jur means kangshi means what. Jur means become. So become cause like that. So what is the cause of the conventionalities? So this two line, again, Candrakīrti is really emphasizing that, see, since there is no anything that exists inherently, since there is nothing that exists inherently, so it means that inherently existing, inherently existing cannot become a causes of any conventionalities. Inherently existing cannot be cause, cannot be part, cannot be within any conventional existence. That that is actual meaning. Right? So here, if you made it in English, that since not even slightest other phenomena exist inherently, you need to put that. Since not even the slightest other phenomena and other power phenomena exist inherently, and what is the cause of conventionalities? So in here means in a little bit different way of seeing things. It could be like this: how can inherently existing thing can become cause of conventionalities? You can change how they can become, how inherently existing can be, inherently existing things can become cause of conventionalities, because inherently existing things do not exist even one moment. Even one moment. So if we divide in a timing, there's no inherently existing things that we can find. If we're speaking about the amount of the things, there's no even a small things can exist inherently. So that's why what Candrakīrti is saying, inherently existing things, even the smallest one, cannot become cause. Even they cannot become a cause for one moment. One moment. So, one moment. Now, next line. Shinji tarna zela chava is. She is other. This other again meant to the Chitta mantra. She means other, referring to Chitta mantra. Shen chi is of. Tarna means according to you, according to other, right? It means according to Chitta mantra schools. So did he say that? In the other's view. In English, they translate that. In the other's view. It means in the Chitta mantra's view. It means that in the Chitta mantra's view, Shenji Tarna, Zela Chabai. Ze is what? Substance. 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 This substance refers to things like if I like this table very much, and the substance is the substance is the name of the things which is the table. So you just change that. When I like this flower, and the flower is the substance. When I like this person, and this person is the substance. So that means ze. La means two. Chakpa means attachment. So I develop first grasping mind at that substantial object, and then I develop attachment. So here, Shinji Tana Zela Chakpa. Yi means by, right? So here they use out of attachment, same out of attachment to the substance in your view. Chawayi jide thak pe nam sha kwen chang la. Jide means the word, like a word, and thakpa means like known, something that is known in the world. Right? Jide thak pe. Namsha is like explanation, or they use is what? The objects, how things exist, how object exists, like explain it. Jide thak pe. Namsha. Kwen means all, chang means even, la means lost. Like a lot. Here they use what? Even all the objects known to be forsake. What does that forsake means?
It's a strange word. It means something like give up on.
Oh, no. Yeah, I remember. I've seen it. But no, I think more closely like a loss. Loss.
Which is forsaken.
Okay, like a law. I think it's that la. In Tibetan you see, or I lost my watch. So we will say lost. We will say la in Tibetan. So it's like a law. So jiri tabe namsha kwen kyang las. So here la. Namsha is the way namsha is the explanation or presentation, or it's a common, it's a general word. So it means when you look at the idiom, make it the all word. Jide tabe namsha means how in the world explain about objects, how things exist. Means that jide tabe namsha. Kwen means all, kyang is even, la means a loss. So here it says even all the objects known in the world are lost or forsaken. So here, here if we make the sentence, this is very simple, but we do need to they say here what Candrakīrti is really giving direct statement, very direct statement to the Chitta Mantra, saying that according to your view, you will lose all the object that is known in the world. This is what he was saying. You will get the fourth line. Just look at the fourth line. This is what directly what Candrakīrti is telling, or Madhyamika Prasangika is telling Chitta Mantra, saying you will lose all the objects.
By thinking things exist.
No. I mean, let me. You will lost, all the object that all the objects, that is known in the world, because the third line, because of you. Every things that like every substances that which appears to you, you believe it, they are inherently existent, and out of that inherently existing, you become unable to control your mind from developing attachment. This is what said in this two line. But now coming to the actual meaning of this two line, what Candrakīrti really meant to Chitta Mantra is saying that the way you describe about things exist, you will become, when you say lost in here, when you say it's lost, what you are really going to lose, what you are going to really lose in your system is not able to establish the true truth. This is the point. You will lose establishing conventional truth and an ultimate truth. You will get loose of this, because how conventional truth exists, how ultimate truth exists, has to be based on dependent relationship, also based on not exist inherently. So the first two line, in this the first two lines, since not even the slightest other power phenomena exist inherently, inherently, so how can those inherently existing can become a causes of any conventional existence? Indirectly, what does it mean is, indirectly what it means that there is a cause of, produce things. There is a cause of produce things. So since there is a produce of cause of, there is a cause of produce things, what shows that there is? Because that shows that nothing exists. Nothing exists inherently, even the slightest, even for the moment. So in this case, and at the same time, also what Candrakīrti is telling to Madhyamika person, to only minds good. Look at the world. They all place the objects in, oh, this is come from there. Or this is come from there. This is made by him. This is produced by them. So in the world, people do not say, oh, they exist automatically. This is what Candrakīrti is saying. Look at the world. Oh, this flower was planted by him and or did not grow well because something went into, they did not get enough fertilization. They did not get enough sun. So it did not, today, this year, the flower did not rise well. So they have, in the world, people are known, saying cause and effect. And Madhyamika Prasangika are absolutely agreeing with how objects are known in the world. How this explanation, just like what I just shared with you, how this explanation is perfectly goes with the Madhyamika Prasangika views. And the worldly people will not say, oh, this exists automatically, or this happened automatically. In the human, in samsara, in the world, in the nature, there is a level. Just like when we talk about everybody has a Buddha nature in our mind. Same thing. We all have. There is cause has to be produced in order to get the result. There is but out of ignorance, we mess that. This is what Madhyamika Prasangika is saying. Out of ignorance, we mess up many times. But when we are not driven by directly or grossly or clearly by the ignorance, we are always in the state of saying, oh, cause and effect. That's why what so this is what Candrakīrti is telling to was telling to Chitamandra, saying is, you will lose the object that is known, an object those are established in the known by the worldly people, because you asserted saying that they exist inherently, and you are believing in that, you are preaching that, you are not only, this is not talking about innate grasping, this is talking about the learned grasping. Because the Chitta Mantra school teaches to view, teaches the view that grasp at phenomena being exists inherently. That's why you learned, and your learned grasping mind let it arise, and so that's why here in what Candrakīrti is saying, you will not only lose the establishment of the ultimate truth, also the conventional truth. Basically, you ended up losing, losing to able to the establishing of true truth. Okay, so we'll continue. Now next 79. Levi ludu shavje lamlene chiri jula shebe tamendo teda konzo tingin delenyam be taba duye means. English. Those who are outside the path of Master Nagarjuna have no means of peace. They depart from the truth of convention and thatness, and because they depart from them, cannot attain the liberation. Please, go ahead.
So Rinpoche, I would think more it would be out of ignorance rather than attachment. So why do they emphasize attachment? That we become attached to others' views and we see things as solid rather than just our own ignorance.
This one. No. Here, this one's basically talking about Chitta Mantra. Don't just think about general. Think about this is how Madhyamika is doing, refuting Chitta Mantra's view that, let me come back here. Madhyamika do not saying that sentient being have an innate grasping at object being as inherently existing. And Madhyamika is not refuting that. This is, we as a samsaric being have an innate grasping mind at a phenomena being exists inherently, no question. Chitta Mantra do not view that as a wrong view at all. Plus, Chitta Mantra says, yes, it is a correct view and things do exist inherently, and they teach about that. They teach. So here, Madhyamika is directly pointing, not only you are having that immense grasping view of grasping view at inherently existing, also you are developing a learned view at that inherently existing. So, and out of this, out of that, you also let desire attachment arises. That's came to that. The point is that. Now the next line where we start, we already read the English, let's go back to the Tibetan. You see Lobun, right? Lobun is a master. Ludup is Nagarjuna. Right? Nagarjuna. Ludup. Shabji is Shab is a Ludu Shabji Lamle. Shab is like feet, or doesn't need it. English they did not translate that, don't need it. No, path we still haven't got there. Ludu Shabji, Ji is off, Lam is a path. Lam is a path. Lem is a from, right? So outside is in the next line. But you can insert it that here. So the path, okay. Lamle nis. Now you look at the next line, Chiru is outside. Chiru is outside. Chiru churu, like in English you don't need, but in Tibetan means is become, or are. Outsiders, like that. Chiru churu las with two. Shiva is like a peace. Tap means like means. Me is a not. To is ending word. So those who are outside of the path of Master Nagarjuna have no means of peace. So if you look at Tibetan here, Ludu Shabji Lamle ni chiru chuva, right? So it means getting outside or getting opposite. Another means is opposite, or having an opposite view of the view that Master Nagarjuna has explained based on the Buddha's teachings, such as what Candrakīrti meant in this case, if I directly share with you, means is Chitta Mantra, your view is outside of the path of Nagarjuna's, and as well as other view. So here what Candrakīrti meant is the Madhyamika Prasangika view is the path of the Nagarjunas. Madhyamika Prasangika view is, and when he said the peace here, and that peace is a nirvana. That is nirvana, that peace. When you say have no means of peace, means there's no way that I can able to attain liberation. There's no other method that I can able to attain the liberation of samsara, attain the nirvana of samsara, or peace of samsara. Same, all the synonym, samsara. There's no way. So that's why chiru jula shube tame dos. Now next line you see teda means those. Those means those it refers to whom? It refers to those who are outside of the path of Nagarjuna. Those, what they use, like outside, outside of the path of the Nagarjunas, means that Teda. Kunzup means a conventional truth. Kunzup, temba, the conventional truth.
So does it mean the only one, the only mind school, because they're too attached on their way of thinking from conventional truth, that's why they don't get the meaning of ultimate?
They are believing, they are believing with their reason that things do not exist. The things do exist inherently, and that's why they do not get to the ultimate meaning. Because the ultimate meaning has to explained from not exist inherently at all. So the Chitta Mantra school or Chitta Mantra school followers directly, clearly explained things do exist inherently. And also they said no outside object, external object exists. That is their one of the main view also. So here Madhyamika Prasangika is saying is that external object exists because they become existing because of they arise from the cause and condition. They are produced from the cause and conditions, and they do not exist inherently because they are always dependent. So your view is based on your view. There's no basis. There's no any means that you can explain what is ultimate truth. So that's why what Nagarjuna as well as the Candrakīrti, all Nagarjuna, Arya, great master Arya Deva, and now also great master Buddhapalita, and also great master Candrakīrti. They are all following the Madhyamika Prasangika view. So Nagarjuna wrote entire teachings on emptiness based on explaining this true truth, and following that, following Nagarjuna, immediately came, the Arya Deva came and also gave the detailed explanation. One the text called Shigyapa has 400 verses on emptiness, and then Buddhapalita later came. He wrote also commentary on that, means teachings on that. And then now we are studying Candrakīrti. Candrakīrti wrote two texts. This is one, and then another one is called Sikse, like clearing the word. So they both explain all of that. So the Chitta Mantra view is based on existing inherently, and the Madhyamika Prasangika view is based on not exist inherently. So look at every our practice when we say it become emptiness. It become emptiness. When you say it become emptiness, the main thing is inherently existent become empty, not exist. Even not only sutra practice, even when we do the tantric practice, it has to dissolve into empty of inherently existing. So that's why here mean that.
So also according to what we heard the explanation, so it shouldn't be any case that the only mind school or whatever master or whatever will get in line. right? There's no way for them to get enlightened.
Yeah, that's why I say if I stick with their view, whether Chitta Mantra school, this is what Candrakīrti is saying. If I stick with that view of inherently existent, or I exist inherently, I've been viewing that, if I rely on that view, if I rely grasping on that, there's no way I can attain liberation. That's why what Candrakīrti meant here is, it's not really meant mainly about the path of Nagarjuna. It meant is getting these two paths, these two views that we explained exist depending on cause and conditions, not exist automatically or without depending on cause and condition. That view needs to be developed, whether it's a Chitta Mantra school or the Madhyamika Prasangika school or any school. But the situation, what ended up here is this explanation was explained by Nagarjuna in that school, and that's why it became the path for us to able to attain full enlightenment. So the mind-only school do provide a lot of good explanation, but when it comes to explain about the view, emptiness, it could not able to give up that part, saying, do not exist inherently. They stuck there.
Could you say something a little, Rinpoche, about what happened to the Buddha's teaching, the original Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching, that all of this other philosophical kind of back and forth had to happen?
During Buddha taught all of these four schools. Not like you, he taught what school is a suits with you to bring you into the path. He taught other school to other student what school suits with him. So look at training the will of the Dharma first. Look at the second training will of the Dharma. Look at the third training will of the Dharma. That's a major one, but there's a lot of teaching that he taught between these three wills. When you look at the concept of the first training will of the Dharma, he did not say things do not exist inherently at that time. He almost spoke based on things exist inherently at that time. Based on that. And when he taught the second training will of the Dharma, that is like a Heart Sutra, whether during the second training will of the Dharma, and during that time he talked about empty of inherently existing. At all. Nothing exists inherently at all. So okay. So then, yes, some students, during that time, all the students are really in the level, can able to take that view, so he taught that. He taught that. And then the first different. But then there are a lot of scholars who see the difference. And when he came to the third training will of the Dharma, and Buddha clarified everything what he taught in the past, and this was I taught it, this meant to this student and for this purpose and that purpose. And in the training will, in the second training will of the Dharma, I said this and I taught this, all the details. That's why the third training will of the Dharma is called Leban number Chokurs, training will of the Dharma, that clarified very clearly what he taught in the past. So here, and between the first training and second training, between the second training and the third training, also Buddha taught many things. And also, as a Tibetan Buddhism, we also count as a fourth training will of the Dharma, which is a tantric training will of the Dharma that took place in South India, and where Nagarjuna spent years there, and on that place called, now it's Amanavana. There's one place where Buddha taught Kala Chakra teachings and those teachings, and that is another tantric teaching that he taught to the another disciple levels. But during the Buddha's time, one thing what says is they perform those practices according to their level without really getting messed up. So, and also Buddha also taught them what they level in their level, So look at, Theravada's followers never have any taste that Buddha taught Tantrayana teaching, how well secret those followers kept during that time. It is a secret teaching called tantric teaching, and how well those practitioners kept the other who are not practicing tantra. They do not have any glimpse of there are tantric practitioners exist. So like that, so according to the individual level, the purpose is of course to lead others from this level to this level to this level. But in here, this is also, Madhyamika Prasangika school and Chetamantra school. This was really brought it into this text here. Is that when I go to read 80,000 verses of the Buddha's teaching on a profession of the wisdom, 20,000 verses on that, and 100,000 verses of the Buddha's teaching, it's going to be too big for my level of mind to be able to grab. That's why Nagarjuna came into the Umar Rinpoche, the fundamental of the reason, fundamental of the root of the reasoning, and then the Aryadeva came with 400 verses, and Candrakīrti came with this, and that become much more. And we can also say this is a commentary of Heart Sutra too. This is also commentary of Heart Sutra, in very extensive commentary of Heart Sutra too. So it teaches us there are a view that Buddha. There are even some texts when you go and study. There are a view of the Samkhya school, other non-Buddhist schools, other non-Buddhist schools. Not only one, Tangchenpa, Chedapa. There are many other in Jangpenpa. Those schools' view, and Buddha described about not disrespecting them, but the motivation is to really able to bring the correct view of emptiness. So these are the view. It has a fault. It has a fault. And even the only mind school's view also has a fault. And then like example, if I'm a mind only school practitioner learning this external do not object exists and this, and then at the beginning I may get into that. Then when I study more, then when my capacity becomes better or higher, then when I read the Madhyamika's teachings, it will make me more sense for me. Then I will start to have a doubt on my own school, and then see it helped it. So that's why it helped me to get into it. But this time now become different. Times change. People don't go through learning for school like this. But we are studying this to see how it happened and to really able to build the view of emptiness more firm and strong. Okay, where we are now. Okay, then the third line, Teda, right? Kunzob Demba. Kunzob is a conventional truth. And Tengi refers to that. Tengi is a thatness, which refers to ultimate. Dem means a truth. Le means from. Nyamba means loss. What did they use? They use depart. They depart means the outsider, right, of the path of the Nagarjuna, or in other words, outsider of this view will lose a true truth. They. So Teta kunzo tenyin denlenyam. Now tele means this te. I'm reading the fourth line. Te refers to what? True truth. True truth. Te, true truth. Te, le means from true truth. Nyam means again destroy or depart. Depart. And nyampe means by. So by departing from the true truth, by losing true truth, by losing true truth or by departing true truth, tele nyambe, tharba means liberation.
Tarva is liberation or nirvana. Drupa means achieving. Yo means exist. Not means not. So there's no way. There's no way they can attain liberation because losing true truth, losing the understanding of true truth, losing the correct understanding of the true truth. Do you means? Okay, so it's clear, right? So means having a correct understanding of the true truth become essential for us now. So here, please, from in the Lamrim teachings, from how to rely on a spiritual guide, all the way up to bodhicitta and perfection of giving, perfection of the morality, perfection of the patience. The perfection of the effort up to that becomes establishing the first truth. First truth. Then when we come to the perfection of the concentration and the perfection of the wisdom, and that comes to talk of in establishing the second truth, the ultimate truth.
Concentration and wisdom.
Yeah, the perfection of the concentration and the concentration, mainly the concentration of the wisdom, and that is establishing the ultimate truth. So here, Lamrim teaching is also, it's also within the true truth. It's not outside, it's within the true truth. Now I like to read them one more word. Tanyen demba tabsu churuba tang, tendam demba tabjun chuba de, tenyi namye kangi mesheba, tenne namdo lobe lamnyin shus. In Tibetan, when I read this is like it's like a nyembo means, what do you call it in Tibet, in English? Like it sounds, I don't know, do you say nyembo is like good, or how do you call it when this sound is, some music is good? What do you call it? What do you say? You will just say good? Pleasing, yeah. Well, this word is like a pleasing. Now let's read in English whether it's pleasing as Tibetan or not. Nominal truth are the method, and ultimate truth arise from the method. Those who do not know how these two are distinguished will enter mistaken path due to the wrong conception. This is now coming to really talk about why we are circling why we are why we are accumulating negative karma, why we are developing different types of delusions. Here, this line, that's why I'm saying it is very pleasing to. Now please read the Tibetan here. Tanye is a nominal. Demba means the truth. Nominal truth and conventional truth are synonym. It's a synonym. So nominal truth, or we can say conventional truth. Now next line you see, Tapsu Churba. Tap means or method. Churba means become. So this line saying that you see nominal truth or conventional truth. Now I need to add a little bit more word to give you this explanation. Here it says what? Nominal truth are the method. What does that mean, right? So here we need to say here, the explanation about the nominal truth or explanation about the conventional truth that Nagarjuna explained, Lord Buddha explained to us, what is conventional truth, what is the definition of the conventional truth, what is the division of the conventional truth, all this explanation, Tanye Demba. Now, Tapsu Churba become our method, become a method, means more I come to understand the explanation about the nominal truth, it becomes a method for me to understand ultimate truth. That is the meaning of that. Ultimate, nominal truth or method means is what? More I come to understand the explanation of the conventional truth, those understanding becomes the method for me to understand what is ultimate truth, what is emptiness. So means he shows that understanding of emptiness depends on understanding of conventional truth.
But Rinpoche, conventional truth or nominal truth, is it different than dependent arising?
Yes, of course. Here, dependent arising is general. That includes two truths. Because look at, emptiness is not conventional truth, but emptiness is dependent arising. Isn't it? So one is broader, one is a little smaller. Conventional truth focusing not including ultimate truth. When you say dependent relationship or ten-del dependent relationship, that includes everything that exists. Ultimate truth, conventional truth, both. Now let me go next line. Tandam Demba, right? You see, Tandam Demba, ultimate truth. Tandam is ultimate, truth, Demba is truth, ultimate truth. Thap Jung, the thap is a method, Jung means occurred, Churba means become. So in here, instead of saying Jungwa as occurred, they translate Jungwa as a rise. So here in English says ultimate truth rise from the method. Right? So now here comes Tandam Dembas in this same coming to understand what is ultimate truth. Coming to think about what is ultimate truth. See here, Tandam Dembas. Right? Comes from, right, arise from understanding of the previous truth, which is conventional truth. So that's why I see Tanya Demba Tabsu Chuba, Tandam Demba Tabjung Chubas, and Tabjung Chuba Des. Since it is like this, now next line say Tegni means these two means two truth. Tegni is Namye means here the Namye means what? Distinguished. Distinguish of these two, or the differences of these two, the meaning of these two, explanation of these two includes everything within that. Tegni Namye. Kangi Misheba, Kangi means whoever in this case, whoever, Misheba means not knowing. Whoever don't know the distinguishing or explanation or the meaning of these two truths, Tingi Namye Kangi Misheba. Not knowing that, what happens? Then next line, Tene Namto Lobe Lamye Shu. Tene, this one, that one, Tene is Namto is in this Namto is referring to mistaken conceptual mind. So Namto, like a conception mind, Lokpa, you see, Lokpa means wrong. So wrong conception mind, mistaken conception mind, Lokpa. By that, what happened is Lamnyeshu, Lam Nyemba means another wrong path, and Lam is a path, Nye is a wrong, and Shubha means enter. So enters into the wrong path because of developing wrong conceptual mind. And that wrong conception mind arises because of not understanding of these two truths. So reading English, do you see that? Those who do not know these two are distinguished. No, these two are distinguished, it's okay, but those who do not know how these two are, how these are distinguished, or means also what is the definition of these two truths individually, how these two truths exist, all of that includes, not knowing that, and will enter mistaken path due to wrong conception. So that's it now. We reach 80th verses. Now we can stop here today. But however, please, meditation on emptiness is necessary for all of us. And knowing what is our target, right? Not my target is within my own mind, and my own self-grasping ignorance is my own target. So, an inherently existing I that I've been viewing and holding in my mind, even it is not there, but there is a, the self-grasping ignorance arise in my mind, and then here the object of that mind, object of self-grasping ignorance is something that I create and which never exists. So try to meditate on a finding, really try to meditate on a finding that image, the generic image of inherently existing I that I've been grasping at. The term if you read the text, maybe they may have used it, but we say the grasping object of self-grasping ignorance. Question is, what is the grasping object of self-grasping ignorance? And answer is inherently existing I. That I've been grasping it. So inherently existing I've been grasped by the self-grasping ignorance that I've been developed it. So then look at how that image supposed to exist, if it is really exists. How my mind been viewing it, and then it's unfindable. But generic image of that I, inherently existing I, could be imaginable. Generic image of inherently existing I can be arise, and that needs to be, almost doesn't have to see like an object that we see as a physical object, but at least something to feel in our mind that. So, and then that become something that I should be negating, and then use I that exists I that exists conventionally, which I travel from this life to this life. I want that I use as a object to say that never exists inherently, and then giving the reason, and try to really build up again the image of not existing inherently. Try to bring the image in our mind that I do not exist inherently. That image has to arise in our mind. That, in other words, if we use another illusion, the mind has to come to see or realize I do not exist inherently. I do not exist inherently, and that needs to be repeated. That needs to use a more and more example. Sometimes it will not make any sense. Sometimes I will get lost completely, and that's very common for all of us. Very common for all of us. It can take years and years, and for in general, look at many practitioners spend many years to doing it. But that's and then always trying to build our wisdom of listening through not just listening, or when we say the wisdom of listening means through your reading or discussion, to make more sense in our mind, and our mind that I or any phenomena do not exist inherently. Also to make sense that how I suddenly let my mind grasp it at the inherently existing I, suddenly, very suddenly, instantly, and inherently existing I, just simply I grasp it at something that never exists. Something that never exists before and do not exist now will be never going to be exist in the future. But I grasp it at that instantly, and so that kind of believing or making sense on that kind of things is very, very important. So that lead us to be able to develop the wisdom of listening through reading, listening, discussing, thinking our own self. And then when we put into meditation or contemplation, and of course first we do contemplation, we do a lot of contemplation. When you say contemplation, that is like we are doing analytical meditation. We do analytical meditations, what I heard, what I read, what I discuss, and use all of those meaning into my analytical meditation and try to actually finding that generic image of inherently existing I and refuting the inherently existing I that I had been grasping at. These two things, finding, grasping, and then more and more I do, and then as I said again, I may not feel at all. We may not feel at all for days and years, we may not feel, but just we have to let our sense to imagine, yes, I found. And then, and then getting little familiarized, very little, the familiarization. And then same as refuting. I imagine I refuted now. And then also continue that, and then just imagine, oh, I refuted. But yes, that's the way how we have to build up our, there's no automatically going to arise finding the generic image of inherently existing I. There's no way I can able to develop wisdom realizing emptiness automatically without doing my own process of contemplation. And then if we need more process on that, if I need to make more sense, and I always feel it's easy to use when I develop anger, use that process. When I have an argument with someone, use that process. When I see somebody is making a terrible difficulty situation, how I ended up, even if it's not personal situation, but I see that I disagree, and then I ended up going through that process, how ended I letting my mind to feel anger. So this all that, just like that. This is one of the process that we are good with it, I am good with it, and using that process, and then how I let it, my mind. Because it is easy for us to go through, because I'm familiar with it. That's why Lama Tsongkhapa made it very, very clear for all of us. In one of the main teachings that Lama Tsongkhapa brought at us to see, familiarization, getting more and more familiarization is the key to able to develop. Otherwise, knowing cannot make difference. Look at somebody who drink a lot, knows it's not good for them. They know, they agree, but they go back and drink again. But why? They're familiar with it. They're not familiar with it, not drinking is good for them. They are familiar with the drinking. Only key comes here. Some people drink and they know it's harming them. And you ask them, they will say, yes, it is harming me. But they say, oh, I will not drink. But they go back and drink. Why? Only reason it was familiarization is only there. Nothing else. If there's no alcohol there, but they still want it, they will go a little crazy. But this is all happening from their familiarization. So here now, I know, we learned, we heard about all of these teachings. We heard all of this, impermanent karma and all of that. But when we act, we are not able to act accordingly that much. It's all because of not lacking the lack of familiarization. So more familiarization I develop, I become easy with it. Same as emptiness now. More I let my mind to get familiar. And familiarization will not come just doing by once, just doing by twice, just doing by... it's just constantly. And we also strongly believe in a karma. If I spend my days and months and years and that, there are immense of karma that we are creating could be the potential to develop that kind of wisdom. And then someday our little effort can also, when that karmas meet with the condition, a little effort can also lead us quickly to get it because of also the cause. Anyway, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sprinkle with the perfume, spread with the flowers, the great mountains, four lands, sun and moon, seen as a Buddha land, and offered thus. May all beings enjoy such a pure land. Edamu Guru Ratna Mendela Niyataya. By in this virtue, may I quickly achieve the level of Buddha and lead every sentient beings without exception to their enlightenment states. May all sentient beings who are like my fathers and mothers enjoy happiness. May the Lord of all being and Bodhisattva dwell everywhere. May everyone their prayers be accomplished. May the precious Supreme Buddha mind, where it is in Guru, where it is Guru, may not decrease, but flourish forevermore. Me me zeve de jen jen re ze de me ne be mo ko jan be nya de bo ma le jom ze sang wen da kan jen ke be tu jen song ka lo san ta be ya la so me me zeve de jen jen re ze de me jen be mo jan be ya de bo ma le jom ze sang tu jen song ka ba lo san ta be ya la me me zeve de jen jen re ze de me jen be wom bo jan be ya de bo ma le jom ze sang kan jen ke be tu jen song ka ba lo san ta be ya la Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.